Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today the die was cast and apparently rolled a 2 as the Viper, playing as the Hindustanis in green, gets ready to take on the Dragon Star as the Magyars in purple. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings, which we will take a look at in a second, and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible. Let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now the Hindustanis are a civilization that pushes its players towards an army composition made up of camels and gunpowder units. To start with, their gunpowder units come with extra armor, and their hand cannoneers can be upgraded to get extra range. Now Hindustani camels also come with a few cool features. First, they have an attack bonus against buildings, which addresses one of my main concerns. Oh, wait a second. Before I get into my concern, the Viper should be concerned here. He just had 2 of his goats teefed by Dragonstar. What is happening lately with the resource laming? In any event, one of my biggest concerns about camels is that they absolutely suck at destroying buildings. Not so for the Hindustanis, that come with a nice +2 attack bonus against buildings. What is going on lately? Oh my god, I can't even get through my Civ intros anymore before players start teefing each other's resources here. Now, Hindustani camels also attack faster, and they have access to the Imperial Camel Rider, a fairly strong, very tanky, super fast, upgraded version of the already super cool caped heavy camel rider. The Viper has lost one of his elephants, 2 of his sheep. At least Mr. Yo in yesterday's game managed to get 2 of his sheep back by stealing his opponents. The Viper just lost 600 food. Holy moly, on a map like this, which we'll take a look at, like I said, in a second. That is very problematic. Now, for the Hindustanis to help defend their hand cannoneers from pesky, annoying range units that might want to snipe them on the field of battle, they can turn to their unique unit, the Gulam. This is an anti-archer infantry unit that moves quickly, has high pierce armor and attack bonus against archer units, and whose spear can actually injure multiple units at once. Now, to support the quick production of their units, starting in even Dark Age, Hindustani villagers are cheaper 5% off all the way up to 20% off in Imperial, and their economy can be made incredibly efficient by increasing the speed of all gold income by 10% and reducing the market commodity trading fee from 30 to 10% as well, making it the second best after the Saracen market trading fee or commodity fee, whatever the hell you want to call it. I am still in shock that the Viper has to start this game with 600 less food than his opponent. Holy moly. Speaking of that opponent, the Dragon Star, I don't ever think we've seen these 2 match up against each other. So I am very excited. An amazing player out of, I believe, India, I want to say, the Dragon Star, who now has 3 elephants being harvested for food. The Magyars, a fast-paced mounted civilization with a few cool features that make them potentially incredibly deadly in the later stages of the game. To start with, their scouts, light cav, and hussars are all 15% cheaper. They get all melee attack upgrades. I mean, forging, iron casting, blast furnace for free automatically. So we'll take a look when he hits feudal. You'll see forging here will light up automatically. That does save them about 1,000 resources, as well as all the time needed to get those upgrades. Their cav archers train faster, can be upgraded to get extra range and attack, and their unique unit is the Magyar Hussar, a light cavalry unit very similar to, but a little bit stronger than a regular Hussar, except it has an attack bonus against siege units, which may or may not come in handy here on this kind of small map, not monks, and it does cost a bit of gold, although it can be upgraded to cost no gold at all. Now, to help support its horse-based army, Magyar villagers can be much more aggressive earlier on because they have a 1-strike policy where their villagers just need 1 love tap to kill any wild aggressive animals out on the map. Now, speaking of that map, I'm going to zoom out yet again. We find ourselves on a die that looks like 2 pips in the middle, which are forests, a bunch of forests around, and this is called Haboob. Don't ask me why it's called Haboob. Don't ask me what Haboob means. Maybe that's some kind of inside joke that the map developers have. I have no clue. What I do know is that everyone has the same starting resources as Arabia, a primary gold and stone, and then 2 secondary gold patches and a secondary stone patch. What else? They come with 2 tertiary patches of 3 resources apiece each. So let's take a look at where the Viper's primary resources are. Kind of center position-ish, not really forward, not really back, and his secondary resources are all in the bag. Dragon Star, gold off to the side, primary stone off to the back. Nice positioning. Two piles of gold very close to one another. Has he discovered these goats? No, he hasn't. So the Viper has an opportunity here to thief some goats, and his secondary stone also in the back. His tertiary resources on the other side in the south, unlike the Vipers that are in the north, his are in the south. And despite the fact that he did not have access to 600 food, the Viper does hit Feudal first in 15 seconds, by the way. Take a look at the top right of your screen. You'll see the forging square light up in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Boom, there it is. Just automatically, all of the Dragon Star's melee units are now +1 in terms of attack. And yeah, these are two civilizations that are super fun to watch, but they're late game civilizations, right? These are civs that don't really have very powerful Dark Age, early feudal, mid feudal economic features. I guess you could call the Hindustani cheaper villagers a powerful economic feature, but in the Dark Age, generally players at this level go up on 20 villagers and they start with 3. So 17 villagers at a 5% discount doesn't even add up to 1 free villager. So I'm not too sure how much of an economic powerhouse that feature is. And the Magyars, I mean, they don't have any economic features except their villagers being able to go out onto the map, the few cheaper units, and a few cheaper upgrades, or rather free upgrades. I guess you could count those as economic. I mean economic like the Frankish bonus, like, you know, any other bonus. The poles with the stone miners, my favorite lemon bushes here as always. But the whole point, why did I start rambling on about late game, early game, blah, blah, blah? Look at the rush distance between the two bases. Games on Haboob, at least from my experience, unless they very rarely do, they do not last very long. So a map this small, even though there's lots and lots of space around, players generally like to attack each other. You know, Age of Empires players generally understand the point of the game is to beat the snot out of the other player. And so we'll see what happens here. That's my prediction. And believe me, part of me is saying that, hoping that I'm wrong, as I am in most of my predictions, so that we get a nice, 55-minute game, 45-minute game out of this. And it doesn't last, until the middle of Feudal Age, and then all of a sudden somebody GG's and he had a bit of a boring matchup. So I hope I'm wrong. Dragonstar is not using the direct approach. Instead, he's going under the southern pip of the die. I'm just going to call it a forest, because southern pip of the die is going to take me way too long to say. Still no kills. A few cacti just strewn about. Spearmen chasing spearmen to the left. Scouts chasing scouts to the right. Remember, these scouts are all 15% off right from the very start of the game. You don't have to reach any kind of age. I mean, obviously, you're not going to train hussars in Feudal Age, but you guys know what I mean. Right the second you can build a stable, you get that discount on your scouts. And the Dragonstar, more units, but they've stopped to take a bit of a break. He really wants to push from the south. I wonder why from the south. The primary resources for the Viper are in the north. Has he seen the location of those resources? Yeah. So I wonder why he's not applying any pressure over there. Instead, I guess maybe thinking to go after the food source, the lemon bushes? Not too sure what the logic is of attacking to the south and not just directly here. He has a very easy line of sight through this dilapidated pyramid. What do we want to call this? Burial pyramid here in the middle of the map, surrounded itself by a few rugs and carpets. The Viper, knowing that he's playing against the Magyar, knowing/suspecting he's going to run face first into a bunch of cavalry, has already positioned no fewer than 7 spearmen here. But our Magyar is undeterred. He's got spearmen of his own. He's going to position these scouts very far away. First blood is drawn and kill count rises at the same time. The Viper looks like he is poking in here. 2 kills on these scouts. Did manage to lose one. It looks like he took out an archer. Looks like a quiver melting into the sands. We'll have seen that in picture probably. I don't like this for our Magyar. I don't like this at all for our Magyar. You're killing cheaper villagers. I guess you're killing them with cheaper scouts. I wonder what the mathematics works out to. I am not Spirit of the Law, so I don't have that off the top of my head, but more and more scouts from our Hindustani who needs to research forging, pay for it, and wait for the upgrade, whereas our Magyar just immediately got it for free. And the Viper defends. 12 kills, 18 for our Magyar, who got 4 villager kills. And the Viper's force here, even though it managed to get a few kills, looks like it didn't get a single villager kill at all. But good news for our Hindustani. All aggression has ceased, but right as I say that, out of the darkness and back into the darkness flow a few bipedal units, some carrying a big old stick, some carrying a stick with a string on it. And it looks like Dragonstar has played this map before. I mean, obviously the Vipers played this map before, but, you know, for dramatic effect, I say, he played this map before because he's already starting to get wood from the edges of the map, whereas the Viper preferring, I guess, to go into the center forest here. Keep these villagers nice and close to the town center, whereas for our Magyar, they are very far from home. So any kind of breach into here, and these villagers are donezo. They are dead meat. How much HP on this house? Less than 100. He's not repairing. He's not building. Okay, he's building a backup house. But there are 2 archers here. Upgrades. +1 attack and range. So they are going to be very annoying for the Viper's villagers as they try to construct these houses. 189 HP, 259, 441. So all together, I don't think they even have enough HP for one house. But does he need it? Oh my god. Oh my goodness. He discovers an alley. Oh man. What an unfortunate situation here for our Hindustani, who says, you know what? He's got a way in. Why am I keeping this wood count tied up in these houses? I'm just going to delete the houses. I don't need that wood there. Or rather, I do need that wood somewhere else. And here we go. The dragons are finally pivoting to the north. The Viper here, he's having trouble. He's got 8 idle villagers. He's already down 5. He is having a bit of a difficult time deciding where to go with these villagers. Some of them are on berries, some of them are on lumber, some of them are being sent here to mine gold and stone. Oh, is there another alley here? No, there isn't. Ooh, imagine you're in Castle Age. Imagine an onager or a mangonel shot right onto this. A tower going up. That's why he's getting stone. He's going to try to defend himself with towers, or maybe he's going to try to push out with towers. A fresh body of scouts. 5 kills already. Looks like another archer melting into the sand over here. And now the Viper's heading straight for this lumber area. He knows that this is how Haboob is played. Why is it called Haboob? But look at this massive army. The Dragonstar, he's supply blocked. He's housed at 70, but look at it. Does he care? He's ahead 5 villagers. He's ahead 15 army count, and he's going up to Castle Age. The Viper is nowhere close. He needs 700 food, and his farms are under siege. Oh, why is I was going to say Haboob. Why is Dragonstar going this way? Oh, if only he knew what we knew. If only these players had the God's Eye vision that casters do, he would probably be unrelenting in his aggression against these farmers, because he knows if he can stop the Viper from getting food, the second he hits castle, the Viper's going to GG. And he's parked himself here under the shade of this tower, knowing that there is absolutely no murder holes. But the Viper, he wants to dislodge this force. There's a lot of spearmen, though. Positioning is going to be important. The Viper's just taking a bunch of arrow fire for no reason. Loses 2 scouts here to the back. A third goes down. And now he's repairing the tower. Good move. Good move, but he's got to dislodge these archers. Oh, villagers delete the house. They've had enough. They've had enough. Do you even need villagers in here anymore? Get all of these out and start attacking the archers. Oh, you are carrying 10 stone and you die with it on your back. That is very unfortunate. I mean, look at the Viper's resources. Is this one of these games where somebody just GG's when the other player reaches Castle Age? Or is he going to be here? Is he going to be tenacious and he's going to try to fight on? He's down 7 villagers with idols. He's down 12 villagers. These archers are pretty weak. He can ungarrison some of these villagers in here. 5 villagers. Oh, sour. 5 villagers plus 2 scouts. No armor upgrades on these scouts. Maybe should have prioritized armor instead of attack upgrades. Oh my goodness. Oh, another ball of death moving forward from the Magyar base. 8 archers, 4 spearmen about to become crossbows. Why the hell is he getting scale barding armor? Oh, because he's got a knight. And by the way, take a look at that iron casting. Immediately completes. for our Magyar. And man, oh man, the Viper just couldn't find a foothold in this game. And the Dragon Star, I mean, I was wondering why he was attacking to the south. Maybe he's playing 4D chess. Maybe he thought the Viper, maybe Dragon Star thought that the Viper thought that Dragon Star would attack the primary resources because they're so obviously exposed. Look at them in the middle of the desert here, you know, both in the same location. And the Viper, thinking that Dragon Star was going to do that, pivots to the ones in the back of his base, and the Dragon Star thinking that the Viper thinking that Dragon Star would do that, pivoted to the back. Anyway, if you could follow that confusing set of nonsense, the whole point is Dragon Star here, whether he attacked in the right place or not, we don't know. I don't have access to the multiverse knowing what would have happened should he have attacked here. Maybe the game would have ended 5 minutes ago. Maybe the game would have continued for another hour and a half. But he attacked through the back using the southern pass here from the forest. And the Viper just could not catch up. These are very exposed villagers, by the way. These archers are going to have a field day with these villagers. He does not have enough stone for a tower. His villagers on stone are dead. There was one villager that had 10 stone on his back, carrying it up the pyramid, and then he dies. Whether or not he should have placed the tower here is questionable. Maybe he wanted to stop the archer fire, but these villagers are pretty safe. Even archers here and here shouldn't be able to reach these ones in the center. In any event, the Dragon Star, unrelenting, put on so much aggression, secured his own villagers here to the back. How many? 15 villagers on lumber, although it kind of shows us that we have 14 at the top. Oh, maybe this... What is this guy doing? He's got an axe in his hand, pickaxe in his hand. What are you mining? In any event, a super fun game. The Viper just, again, couldn't find a foothold. His opponent rushed up to Castle Age, 24-minute mark. And the Viper lost too many villagers. 12 dead villagers. He managed to kill 29 military, though, so the cost of the villagers was not free. 23 scouts, 23 archers, peak APM for the Viper, of course. Hero level, a bit more relaxed game for our purple Magyar, whose economy is about 2,000 resources ahead. No relics, of course. We're not in Castle Age except for the last second. And look at the gold difference. Look at that. This is where the archers came from. This is where Castle Age came from. This is where the knights are coming from. And using that momentum, the Dragon Star just did not let the Viper get a foothold. The Viper, it was like trying to, I'll use a very Canadian example before I end it. It's like trying to run on ice. He just couldn't. His feet, like in a cartoon, were turning, twirling. And unfortunately for him, the Dragon Star parked his butt right underneath this tower and just managed to destroy everything that the Viper sent at him. And with that, the Dragon Star is victorious. But wow, what a fun game. Maybe I'll try to find more Haboob games. Like I said, small maps lead to big action, and I'm very into this. So Dragon Star gets the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.